About Jim Stynes and his battles in life, and he's been out there making muesli. Jim, what are you doing?
In this situation, I'm just sharing. I suppose, like I've read a hell of a lot to try and get myself right. Like I'm doing everything I can to stay alive, and one of the things is food. The things you put in your body every day, and I suppose you can't, and I think most people who get cancer, they end up looking around to say, well, what's it all about, and how do you get cured, and so on. And so, I've read so much stuff, and and that's why this music, the food that we eat, obviously, dictates a lot of who we are and how we, what we become.
But you've got so many things on your plate at the moment. Why this? Why take on something else?
Well, I'm not doing too much. I've got my wife here, who's basically doing most of the work. I'm not doing much of it. I must admit. I just back what my wife, particularly Sam's, been doing, because I can't do a lot at the moment. This journey that I've been on, it has its ups and downs. You get a good run and you're flying and you think, oh yeah, I'm going to be right, and then suddenly you get hit hard. And
so where are you at the moment? You're flying or down?
No, I'm not flying. I wouldn't say I'm flying. I've been hit. I've been belted a bit, I'd say. Recently, in probably the last 3-4 months. But I'm just coming back up again. I could feel the last 2 weeks I've sort of had a bit of a break, and I've starting to come back out again. I'm not feeling yuck and all that sort of stuff. So
treatment still going?
Yeah. Still, obviously still doing the treatment, and the one we're on at the moment is we're hoping is going to be the saving grace.
Is that difficult?
Yeah, of course it is. We're all mortal beings, and you got 2 beautiful kids, a beautiful wife. You want things to go on forever.
I don't think we believe you're a mortal being. I think you've really convinced us that you can keep going.
Well, we can all keep going. It just depends on how we see it and how we live it. I just think that obviously this experience that I'm having is intense, and like I was told that I probably wouldn't. I'd be lucky to get past a year, and I'm still going, and it's 2.5, coming on to 3. So I think a lot of this, you got to make your own look, and you got to make your own reality.
You set yourself targets now, or you just cope with it as it comes?
I just cope with it as it comes. Like we're able to do things. We got, I make a point of, making the most of what I have. I've got 2 beautiful kids and a beautiful wife, and I try to make that a real. And it took me a long time to realise what that really meant.
Even through the illness.
Yeah, because in the beginning I wasn't really. I didn't really understand it. I was still trying to do everything. I was still trying to fit everything in.
What do you do now? Just focus?
Well, lately the illness has sort of dictated a lot. Because if you're really crook, you can't do a whole lot. But at the moment now we're able to, like we're promoting this, music that can help other people, and that's a good thing. I think, a lot of people are lied to. There's a lot of media out there, and people don't know what to do. They don't know how to eat, and a lot of cancers is caused because of poor eating, and not because they want to, because they just don't know. They've never been taught.
So, Sam, what's in it? And how was it developed? Is this actually developed by the two of you?
Pretty much. Jim just started tinkering at the kitchen bench, and superfoods was a big ingredient in being a cancer-fighting food or a disease prevention food. So to begin with, Jim was eating a lot of those foods individually, and we were getting a lot of advice off friends who were raw food experts and nutritionalists, and then Jim started, you know, why don't we mix it all together, and then friends and family were sort of wondering what we were doing and what it was and started eating it, and then just people in life would sort of stop Jim out and about and ask, who may have been recently diagnosed with cancer, or loved ones of people who are unwell, asking what Jim eats, and so we'd start writing it all down and trying to give them the information. And then in the end we found ourselves saying, look, I'll just send you a bag of this stuff we make at home, and then, you know, light bulb moment, I guess, and we just went, we should just pack it up and, you know, get it out there. So it just really, it evolved over 2 years, really.
And is it just the beginning? I mean, you're talking about other products as well. Is that the plan?
I'll leave that to my wife.
Well, I'm keen. Jim has this great smoothie that he has every day, so I'm keen
Oh, no,
to
no,
get
it
that up.
hasn't got... you don't wee in it first, Jim, do you?
No,
Urine?
that's for
You're not
medicinal.
still into that, are you?
I haven't for a little while.
Good. So tell us about the smoothie without...
Yeah, look, the thing is, when this is another thing, like when you're really sick, it's really hard to keep weight on. So smoothies are really can really help. That's really helped me, you know, getting, because I don't drink normal milk, but I'll drink sort of oat milk or almond milk or something like that, and I'll mix that in with lots of different fruit and nuts and berries and whatever, and I'll get a good drink out of that, you know. So it's because it's hard. Like at the moment, I've been losing weight, and I'm sort of going, what? I just can't seem to put it on. So I've got to be really careful that I don't get that I drop too low. So I've got to try and get in, because it's hard to eat. Like I just find it now harder to eat than I ever did, and particularly with the food I eat now, it's not like you're eating top shelf. You know, you go into a restaurant, you just have whatever you want. You know, most of the food I eat now is raw, and body seems to cope with it better, but it doesn't put on weight.
And you're not hungry?
No. Well, you just get used to, a lifestyle. Like I've been living with this disease now for 2.5, maybe 3 years. So there's certain things that you do get used to, but you go through, you go through ups and downs with it as well.
You get sick of it though. I mean, I do remember Sam saying you could get a bit grumpy at times. Probably both of you, Sam, get a bit grumpy at times.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think I must admit though,
it's a slog, isn't it? It's a slog.
Yeah, the whole gamut of it is a slog.
Yeah.
But I've got to say that for whatever reason, I personally got to a point where I just let it all go, and then our relationship has been awesome as a result. We've sort of let the small things go, and so we don't fight like we used to fight like cats and dogs at times, but now we've just let all that go. We don't need to. It's like I suppose we've got beyond that.
But I remember you saying in the early days there was a bit of a blessing in this. You surely don't feel that anymore, do you?
Well, in one way yes, another way no, obviously, because I wouldn't be the person I am today unless I had this experience. So I've had to wake up, and I wasn't awake. There was no way I was awake. I was off living life and doing everything, and I was leaving my family behind a bit, and good friends behind a bit, and that sort of thing. And but it took a good year before I started to get what this was about, and that actually there's a lot to learn from this, and that's that's kind of there is beauty in the experience, and it's hard to communicate it in a radio interview, but like I know I'm a much better person as a result of this experience.
But wouldn't you? That's enough. I'm a better person now. Let's call it all off.
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love it. It was like that, without a doubt. Like sometimes, you know, I sit with Sam and I'll start crying, and because I know what I'm going to miss out on, and that gets hard. You know, because I want to have all the experiences that you have, and everyone else that might be listening. You know, I want to do all the things that I can do.